Today, we're going to some of the most fascinating, mysterious, and downright forbidden places on Earth. We're talking about the real blank spaces on the map. Places that no matter who you are or how much money you have, you just can't go.
I mean, think about it. We live in a world where you can pull up a satellite view of pretty much any street corner on the planet. It feels like everything has been explored, right? But what if I told you that's not true? That there are still pockets of our world that are completely, and very intentionally, sealed off.
So first up, let's look at places where the planet itself puts up a massive keep out sign. We're not talking about human laws or fences here. We're talking about raw, untamable nature. To see what I mean, we're heading to the coast of Brazil. There's this one particular island that, if you saw it from a boat, you might think looks like a beautiful, lush, tropical paradise. But trust me, there is a very, very good reason it is absolutely forbidden to set foot on its shores. And what's that reason? Well, the source material couldn't be more direct about it. The island is, and I quote, overcrowded with venomous snakes. And listen, we're not talking about just a few of them where you'd have to watch your step. We're talking about a place so completely infested that the entire island is basically a death trap. So this is way beyond just being a dangerous place to visit. This is a spot where nature has created the ultimate barrier. What happened is, because there were no natural predators on the ground, the snake population just exploded. It's like evolution built a biological fortress, creating an environment so incredibly hostile that survival for anyone who isn't supposed to be there is pretty much impossible. Okay, so nature can be a pretty effective gatekeeper, but natural dangers aren't the only things that can make a place off limits. Sometimes the most powerful borders are the ones that we humans create ourselves. Now, before we jump into our next example, it's really important we're on the same page with this idea of an isolated tribe. Basically, it's a community of people who live completely without any real contact with our modern, globalized world. And this isn't usually by accident. It's often a very deliberate choice they've made. And that brings us to our second type of forbidden land. In these places, the barrier isn't a physical threat like a venomous snake. The barrier is the unwavering will of the people who call that place home. They actively, and sometimes violently, reject any and all contact with outsiders. So, why are these places forbidden? It's not because of some government law. It's because, as our sources tell us, the people there are hostile to any attempts at dialogue. You have to understand, this hostility often comes from a really dark history of bad encounters with the outside world, people bringing violence or disease. So it's a defense mechanism. It's this profound cultural decision to remain separate that creates an invisible wall that's just as real and just as impassable as any physical one. So when you step back, you start to see this incredible pattern. You've got these two totally different forces, nature and humanity, drawing these invisible lines all over our world map. Lines that, for all our modern technology, we simply cannot cross. Let's just put them side by side. It makes it so clear. On one side, you have natural barriers. The source is evolution, the threat is a lethal environment, and the result is a physical no-go zone. Then, on the other side, you have human barriers. The source is cultural, the threat is hostility, and the result is a completely isolated group of people. See? Totally different reasons, but the exact same outcome, a forbidden land. And that, right there, is the key takeaway from all of this. It doesn't matter if it's an island swarming with deadly animals or a patch of forest protected by a people who just want to be left alone. Both the awesome power of nature and the determined will of people can create places that are completely, totally separate from the rest of our interconnected world. Which kind of leaves us with this huge, fascinating question, doesn't it? As a species, we're explorers. It's in our DNA to want to see what's over the next hill, to map every corner. But just because we can try to go everywhere, does that mean we should? Or is there maybe a deeper wisdom in respecting these boundaries and then letting some small parts of our world and its cultures remain completely untouched? Something to think about. Thanks for digging into this with me.